days, payday, swipe my card, then I do the nay-nay. You're talking to a late date, I want a Kanye, yeah, not a right day. So that's a no-no, I'ma make that.
Like handbags. Okay, so we already have something in common with our next speaker because that is something that she loves. And she's gonna teach us how to make sure we are better able to not only get those handbags, but fill those handbags by lining our coins up right. Right, Bola? All right, so our first speaker is Bola Sokunbi. If you know Bola or know of her, give me a round of applause. All right, so now you're gonna get to know her a little bit better. So Bola is a certified financial educator instructor, finance expert, speaker, writer, podcaster, social media influencer, and founder of Clever Girl Finance. It's a platform that empowers and educates women to make financial decisions for their current and future selves and to pursue their dreams of financial independence in order to live life on their own terms. CleverGirlFinance.com has also been voted as one of the top personal finance websites for women. Bola has been featured on NYC's Pix 11 News, CBN News, the Chicago Tribune, as well as on several other finance websites and podcasts. She's also worked with brands such as Progressive, Prudential, Capital One, Fidelity, Haven Life, and Blogger, just to name a few. And she frequently hosts her own workshops and webinars that revolve around personal and business finance. So if y'all are ready to get these coins right, ready to live our best lives, please give me a very warm welcome to Miss Bola Sokunbi.
Every day is good day, swipe my card, then I do the nay-nay. You're talking to a late date, I want a Kanye, yeah, not a right day. So that's a no-no, I'ma make that thing musical.
Hey everyone, how are you guys doing? Hi. So my name is Bola, like Daddy said, and I'm going to be talking to you guys about how to get your money right. Specifically, how to create a money plan for yourself. So how many of you guys know or feel confident about exactly what you should do with your money right now? One person? 5? Okay. So let's talk about it because having your finances in order is really important. It's what allows you to plan out your goals. It's what allows you to accomplish the things you want to accomplish long term. It's what allows you to buy handbags, like Daddy said. But you need to have that plan in place in order to be able to do the things that you want to do. So a lot of times when people talk about, their financial plans or things they want to do, the first thing they say is, well, I don't make enough money, or I'm waiting until I get a better job, or just different reasons. And the one thing I want to tell you as you listen to what I'm about to tell you about creating money plans is that you have to set the intention, and regardless of where you are, you have to start with what you have, where you are now, if that makes sense. So I'll tell you a really quick story before I dive into how to make a money plan, and it's a story about me. And when I first graduated from college, I was working in between New York and Philadelphia, and I got a job where I was making $54,000 before taxes. After taxes, that came out to about $40,000. But I told myself that I wanted to see what it would take to save a ton of money. And so I set a challenge that I was going to save 6 figures. And during that time, I had a car note, I was getting ready to purchase my first really tiny condo, other life expenses. But in 3.5 years, I was able to save over $100,000. And that was really because I set the challenge for myself. So let's talk about how you guys can create a money plan for yourself. So the first thing you have to do is, it's not about the dollars and the cents. It's first deciding or determining what are your core values. And your core values are the things that matter to you the most, right? So how many of you here want to travel around the world, for example, right? Be able to travel whenever you want to. How many of you want to retire early? How many of you want to give back and help your families? Okay, so those are all things that are your core values, or the things that matter to you the most. And you have to get clear on what your core values are. Otherwise, when you don't know what they are, when you attach yourself to the standards that the world has set aside for you, then you're not going to be inclined to pursue the things that you really want. And I'll tell you that your core values are unique to you. They can be whatever you want them to be, right? If your core value is to, I don't know, save $1 million so you can go to the top of the Eiffel Tower and kind of blow it down, then that's something that matters to you. It's not what the world is telling you that you should be doing. So once you know what your core values are, then you need to let go of standards. And there's a lot of standards in the world. There's standards about, how much you should be making by age 30 or 35, when you should get married, how many kids you should have. There are standards around what your friends are doing and how much your friends are making and what kind of handbags your friends are buying and things like that. And a lot of us hold ourselves to standards based on what the world is telling us we should be doing. And it's not just friends, but it's people close to you, like your family members, right? So once you know what your core values are, the things that you really want to accomplish, then you can start to detach yourself from those standards. And knowing what your core values are is going to compel you to actually want to accomplish those goals. If you don't want something bad enough, you're not going to do it. So then, that's like the core foundational piece of creating a money plan for yourself. So you have to know your core values, you have to let go of standards, you have to identify what is it that I really want in my life, and understand that the end goal is not the money, but what the money can help you attain. So being able to travel the world, that's what money can help you get. Being able to help your family, retire early, all those things, those are all things that money can help you get. So once you've identified your core values and you've let go of those standards and you've kind of shifted your circle of influence and you've stopped hanging out with Ms. Ain't Got No Goals, then it's time to create the plan, the actual plan. And the plan for your money consists of a few things. It consists of a plan for your debt. How many people have student loans in here? Okay, that is not the debt. A plan for your retirement, because you owe it to your future self to have a plan for that person, so that when you get there, you don't look back and be like, oh my God, what did I do with my life? You need to have a plan for your other goals. So if you want to buy a house, you want to move to a different state, you want to, buy a Birkin bag, whatever those goals are. And then you need to have a plan to increase your income. Because it's one thing to budget and budget and budget, but you can only budget so much, right? You can only cut back so much. However, on the flip side, when you're able to increase your income, you can actually increase your income exponentially. And you can do that by getting a better paying job, by starting a side hustle, by starting a full-time business, by creating different streams of passive income. So let's kind of come back to talking about the plan for your debt, right? And a lot of times when I talk to people, they talk about their credit card debt and their student loan debt, maybe mortgages, maybe car notes, and they feel like, oh my God, this debt is just so overwhelming, I can never pay it off, I'm making payments, and I don't seem to be making any progress. However, the first part of being able to address your debt is changing your mindset about it. And understanding that every single day, people with less than you are paying off their debt. You can listen to the Dave Ramsey show. Every single day there's someone on there that says, oh, I earned $35,000 a year, and I just paid off $100,000 in debt. It takes time, it takes discipline, but the thing is, once you can focus on getting your debt out of your life, right, and creating a plan and a strategy, because you can't just throw dollars at different debts every month and expect them to change. You have to have a plan of attack for them because of the way interest works and all of that. But once you have that in place, once you're in a position where you're paying off your debt and you have a plan to pay off your debt over the next 2 years, over the next 5 years, understand that when you get to the other side of that, the things that you want to do, you can actually do them, and you'll be able to do them guilt-free. You'll be able to take the vacations without having to put them on a credit card and coming back from that trip and being like, oh my God, I have to spend the next several months paying this off. So make a plan for your debt, for your credit cards, for your student loans, prioritize them, sit down and understand what are your interest rates, what are you being charged every single month. Make sure that the extra payments you're paying on your student loans are going towards your principal balance and not just towards your interest, because those are things that you need to think about. When it comes to creating the plan for your future self, for you 20 years from now, you 30 years from now, the best way to do it is through your retirement plan. So your employer may have one or they may not, you can still establish your own. And a lot of people say, well, I can't invest because I don't make enough money. Or I can't invest because I don't know anything about it. But investing is how you build wealth. If you look around you and look at all the wealthiest people, they're building wealth in one of three ways: through investing in the stock market, through real estate, and through small business. Those are the three ways to build wealth. And most of us in here have the opportunity to build wealth through our employer. So how many of you have a 401k or an IRA or 403b? Yeah, you should all be contributing to that. And if you feel like things are just so tight, start with $1, right? Or sorry, start with 1%, 1%, and every 2-3 months, increase it by another percent. And if your employer is offering you a match, you want to take that match. That is free money. I talk to so many people all the time who have employers who offer them matches and they don't take it because they're like, well, I don't have enough money to contribute. You're contributing to your 401k before taxes, right? Which means if you were to go onto an online calculator and plug in your numbers, you realize the difference between if you contributed 1 or 5 or even 10% before taxes and what you get in your paycheck after. If you didn't contribute, is actually not that much. It's a few $100s. So I definitely recommend that. So you are in a position to contribute for your future self. It doesn't matter if you think you can't invest, you think you don't have enough money, start with that 1%. And one thing that I think should motivate you is that when you turn 60 or 65 or whatever age it is that you choose to retire, nobody's waiting for you with a mansion on the beach and a bottle of champagne saying, hey girl, I did this for you. No one's doing that for you. You have to do it for yourself. And the last thing you want is to have to retire or find yourself when you're older in a state-funded nursing home because you didn't make a plan for yourself. So start now. And if you have debt you're trying to pay off, contribute enough to get the match from your employer, and then focus on paying off your debt. And once that's under control, go back and start aggressively saving. When it comes to your goals for your plans for your other goals, so buying a house, traveling, whatever it is that you guys want to do, you want to prioritize them. So I usually say pick 3 things that are most important to you. And the way you pick them is you go back to your core values, what I talked about at the beginning. What are the things that really matter to me that I really want to do? And those should be on your top 3 list of your other goals, things you want to accomplish. And open the bank accounts and start contributing based on your priority a certain percentage to those things. Build those percentages into your budget so you know that every month when you get paid, this amount goes to your debt, this amount goes to your retirement, this amount goes to my other goals. And that is basically the foundation of you creating a plan for yourself. It's about getting organized and listing out the things you need to get done and then building them into your budget. Finally, you want to make sure that you are thinking about ways to increase your income. I can't stress this enough. I don't think you should ever be satisfied with what you make now, especially if you have big dreams about what you want to accomplish. And increasing your income isn't just about starting a business, starting a side hustle. You can increase your income where you work in your career by positioning yourself to get promoted, by positioning yourself to get those bonuses, by finding a better paying job, by, if you have a ton of debt that you have to pay off, maybe getting even a part-time job, and knowing that the sole intent of that part-time job is to pay off your debt or to save for this big goal, right? It's all about having that focus. And so, like I said, when it comes to increasing your income, you want to think about other jobs, part-time jobs, starting a business, starting a side hustle, think about passive ways to earn income. And when you invest your money in your 401k, your money is working for you, and that's a way of earning passive income, and that's called portfolio income. So even if you think, okay, I have no way, I have no time to increase my income right now, you can do one thing by contributing to your investment accounts, and that's your money being put to work for you. And I said finally before, but finally. The last thing I wanted to talk about is, all the things I just mentioned are the skills to create a plan and to build wealth, right? And the skills are things that anybody can learn, right? If you've ever told yourself that you're bad with money, I want you to take that back. Because the same way you're able to pass your college classes and graduate is the same way you can learn about money. However, that's not the main battle. The main battle to becoming financially successful is discipline, and it's mindset, and it's consistency. So this skill set, budgeting and learning how to invest, all that good stuff, is only about 20% of this whole equation. The other 80% is you. It is yourself. It is the battles you have with yourself when you're walking past that store. It's the conversations you're having when you're trying to determine if you put that vacation in your credit card. It's the battle over self. That is the biggest part of this whole equation. And so you want to focus on building consistency, building discipline, surrounding yourself with people who are doing things bigger and better than you are so they can motivate you and inspire you. The people and the things you surround yourself with are critical to your success with money, right? Look at any wealthy person that you admire, any successful person that you admire from a distance or that's close to home, and look at who they hang out with, and look at the kind of things they do. They're not home every evening after work watching Love and Hip Hop. They're not. They're not watching. Not that there's anything wrong with that, but you know, if you want to do something big with your finances and with your life, you have to dedicate time to it, right? So if you come home every night and you spend 4 hours watching replays of whatever show, right, then you're not dedicating time to yourself. So maybe you spend 30 minutes or an hour watching that stuff, and then you focus on what you need to do for yourself. So focus on yourself and overcoming the battles around things you need to do to make sure you're actually taking the right actions to build wealth. So that's, in a nutshell, how to create a money plan for yourself.